Minecraft has been around a long time. It's a game mostly universally loved for its combination of building, mining, crafting, and survival gameplay. When Microsoft bought Mojang several years back, we all wondered what they'd do with the license outside of putting the game on every platform imaginable. Well, now we know. Saints preserve us. Now we know. When I first heard they were doing a Minecraft dungeon crawler, I expected them to throw the camera back to third-person overhead, naturally, but that the dungeon crawling would basically be added on top of mining, crafting, and building mechanics, and put a newer spin on the dungeon crawling genre. This is not what we ended up with. Ooh boy, there's a lot to unpack with this one. Boys and girls, this is what we like to call a cash grab. This game is literally Minecraft in name only. It's like that ROM hack of Heavy Barrel for NES, where they replaced the heroes with the Rescue Rangers and called it Chip and Dale 3. Aside from the graphics and music, there's nothing about this game that would lead you to suspect that it has anything to do with the iconic original title, and what it does do, it doesn't do particularly well. It has a basic storyline, but one that's been used in hundreds of Diablo clones and RPGs for decades. Downtrodden outcast acquires miraculous powers, becomes a power-mad despot, and now you must stop him. That's it. That's what you get. Which is in itself fine, since Minecraft didn't have an in-game narrative at all, but if they were going to inject narrative into Minecraft, you'd think they'd come up with something, well, somewhat less derivative. The game runs at a pretty solid 60 frames per second, but that should be expected considering what's being put on screen. It's Minecraft after all. Even with ray tracing thrown in, Minecraft has never really been a game known for its stunning visuals. That's not the focus, so one shouldn't expect it to be the focus here, and trust me, it's not. The musical score is the same calm, soothing piano music from the first game, outside of the music played during the cutscenes. There's nothing wrong inherently with these tracks. They're well played and quite enjoyable. The issue is that they don't match up at all with what is going on screen. You're running around stabbing creatures, filling them with arrows, blowing them up, poisoning them, setting them on fire, absorbing their souls into a super weapon. Your pet wolf is following you around with arrows sticking out of it like a pincushion, whining in pain every time it gets hit, and all the while in the background, you have this soft, relaxing music that sounds like it's right out of The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. It's pretty, it's soothing to listen to, but it doesn't match the tone or the urgency of the gameplay at all. And that brings us to the gameplay. Oh lord, where to begin? First of all, it's not open world like your typical Diablo-like. It's level/mission based. You have a central town hub from where you can choose which mission or level you want to try next. You can replay these missions as much as you want, but you can't freely walk from one area to the next. And when you do select a mission, the maps are extremely linear, with very little more to do than move in this direction and kill everything that moves till you get to the boss, kill it, and then walk through the door. If this game were converted to 2D, it would be a co-op beat-em-up with RPG elements. It would be Guardian Heroes on the Saturn. Combat-wise, you have melee weapons, bow and arrow for ranged attacks, and various area of effect attacks that you can perform using artifacts. Your character gains more life and grows more powerful as you level up. And you earn perk points. But the perk points aren't spent on attributes of your character. They're used on gear instead. Each weapon or piece of armor has a select number of perk trees that you can choose to power up. The most trees any one piece of equipment has, at least that I have found, is 3. Once you put a point in one, that's the only perk you can power up for that piece of equipment from there, so choose wisely. These perks can only be powered up a total of 3 times. In short, even if you max out your character's level, you'll only ever need 18 perk points. 6 for your weapon slot, 6 for your armor slot, and 6 for your bow or crossbow slot. Artifacts have no perk trees, so the only way to gain more powerful magic attacks is to find a better artifact. Now, if you find a more powerful weapon, the only way to transfer those perk points from your old weapon to the new one is to salvage or destroy the old weapon. You can then transfer the perk points to one of the new weapon's trees. But the trees available for each piece of equipment vary, so whereas your previous sword might have given you plus 30 attack and plus 30 speed, your new weapon might just give you electric attacks when you roll dodge, or increase the likelihood of grabbing loot from dead enemies. So anytime you find a new weapon, don't just look at the attack, strength, or defense level, look at what perk trees are available. The additional defense or offense stat boosts may not be worth what you lose on the perk side. What this boils down to is that once you reach level 18 and have 18 perk points you can shuffle between the 3 applicable equipment slots, there's no real advantage to the perk points you earn past that point. They become meaningless, unless you intend to carry around a bunch of different weapon and armor types, but the gameplay doesn't really encourage the need for that, because it's a cakewalk. The game has 3 base difficulty levels. Only the easiest is available when you start. You have to beat it to unlock harder difficulties. Would have been better with this game if you could start on the hardest, because it really needs it. On top of that, each level has its own difficulty slider. You can choose on a limited basis which difficulty you want to play on when you start a level. The game recommends what power level you should be at before attempting a given difficulty, but some of those levels, both easier or harder, are locked, so having that for each level becomes rather redundant, especially when you get later into the game and it's telling you that A, you can only play the level at the minimum difficulty of, say, 4, but B, you should be at power 12 and are only at power 10. This is supposed to encourage you to replay previous levels and level up until you're strong enough for that level. The thing is, it doesn't matter. I have regularly and easily beaten levels that I was 3 and 4 levels beneath the minimum level for, because it's not hard. It's the easiest dungeon crawler I've ever played. It's Little Timmy's first Diablo clone. The game is supposed to encourage co-op play, but it can be easily beaten on default difficulty, and most of the deaths I had weren't from the hands of enemies, but from accidentally setting myself on fire walking through lava, falling off a cliff trying to get to a treasure chest because there's no jump button, and so forth. Each time you play a level, it gives you 3 lives, i.e. 3 chances to complete the level on that run. Instead of being able to stockpile potions or food like you can in Minecraft, any food you find is instantly eaten, and you have unlimited potions, but they're on a cooldown timer. So aside from boss fights, if you ever get swarmed somehow and are about to die, you just run backwards to a part of the map you already cleared because it doesn't respawn enemies, and let the cooldown timer on your potions clear out, use a potion, wait for it to clear again, go back to where you almost died and finish them off. Only place this doesn't work is with boss fights, as they often close you off from leaving the area. However, if you die during a boss fight, you can run right back in there and their damage is not reset, so assuming you didn't accidentally kill yourself on the way there, you have 3 tries to kill the boss, potion boosters that are unlimited, and they spawn enemies who drop food. I repeat, some of these bosses spawn enemies who drop food when you kill them. And well, where's the challenge? On the difficulty level you won't let me play from the start? Nice call, Microsoft. You can't even choose how you want to spend the emeralds you find. There's a blacksmith and a merchant. The merchant sells artifacts, the blacksmith sells weapons and armor. but you can't actually pick what you want. Each time you buy something from either one of them, what you get is totally random outside of being appropriate to your current power level. You might get an awesome weapon, or you might get an armor set that's technically stronger but has crappier perks. And it costs more and more emeralds to play these two lottery machines disguised as merchants the higher you level up. It's an absolute joke. But the biggest crime here is really the waste of the license. Like I said, this is Minecraft in name only. There's no mining, and there's no crafting in Minecraft Dungeons. It's in the name, folks. Mine and craft! But you can't destroy blocks, you can't dig holes, you can't build houses or anything else, you can't combine items to make new ones to use or sell, you don't need to sleep, there's no hunger meter, nothing in the original's gameplay is present here. You do eventually get a pickaxe, but it's just another melee weapon, friends, and when you leave that stuff out and replace it with the most bare-bone mechanics of the dungeon crawler genre, you end up with a game that is not satisfying to fans of the original and is a running joke to die-hard fans of dungeon crawlers. This is especially egregious when you look at a game like Portal Knights, which takes all the mining, building, and crafting of Minecraft and successfully merges it with all the mechanics and tropes of an open-world MMORPG. If the makers of Portal Knights can pull it off with their resources, why can't Microsoft? Can you imagine if Minecraft Dungeons gave you the ability to build your own worlds, your own dungeons, your own storylines, your own boss fights for other players to come in and tackle? You'd have a game that never ran out of content. But then again, that would also mean that no one would buy their official DLC maps now, wouldn't it? Guess Microsoft learned from the failure of Project Spark, huh? But they're not about the money, oh no! They're about the players, right, fanboys? Minecraft Dungeons is a dungeon crawler for kids. At best, a game you can hand to your 6-year-old who complains about you not letting them play Diablo 3. It can be beaten solo in a single playthrough. It is the result of boardroom demographics meetings. They paid all this money for Mojang, and guess what? Mojang only makes one game. Graphics improvements and minor mechanics additions aren't encouraging folks to keep rebuying the same game over and over ad nauseum, so hey, we gotta do something to refresh this IP we spent all this money on. What are we gonna do? Oh, I know. Let's take a known genre that diehards enjoy and slap a Minecraft skin on it. If this dungeon crawler somehow manages to sell, expect to see Minecraft the fighting game, Minecraft the beat 'em up, Minecraft karting, Minecraft the cooking sim, Minecraft the sexual impotence aid, Minecraft volleyball, and who knows what else. Microsoft has a ton of new studios after all, so the sky's the limit, lads. God help us all. Minecraft Dungeons gets a 4 out of 7. So, how'd you like my latest review? Feel free to give me a like, a favorite, or a subscribe. If you're a new subscriber, don't forget to hit the bell so you get notified on every new video I make. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter at The 7th Level. The pinned tweet on my main Twitter page is a Discord link, so if you want to come chat with us, feel free. Don't forget to leave a comment letting me know what you thought of the vid, and until next time, folks, this is 7.